2020, and the return of the leaf dancer. I'm going to unpack that just a little bit for y'all before we get into the rite. Leaf dancer is, when I first moved to Colorado, I did a lot of hiking in the mountains, especially around fall, and someone turned me on to this particular piece of road where on one side of the road, the aspens were turning. And the aspens move as one organism sometimes. So they start trembling and quaking on one side of a giant aspen grove, and they quake all the way through, kind of like the wave at a sporting event. I found it to be miraculous, and I said, it looks as if there's some sort of spirit dancing and weaving through the trees, and like you could watch the spirit pass through. And through some dream work and some trance work early in my priest career, I came to the awareness of this being that I've started to call Leaf Dancer. In sharing the story of Leaf Dancer, a consciousness has sort of built around her, and here she is now as part of the magpie mythos. So Leaf Dancer is sort of the spirit of this time, the spirit of the changing leaves. We also focus in our autumnal equinox. This is our second harvest. Usually, like any kind of corn that's coming through is usually coming through about right now here in Colorado. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Focus on whatever agrarian or agricultural things are going on in your area, in your yard, however it is that you take care and become aware of those things. So that being said, if you don't have a blessing cup with something to drink a blessing with later, go run and fetch that. If you're going to be making any kind of offerings with us, please have those things ready. If you're not, please know that the offerings that we make here are for anyone who watches this at any time. This is a timeless moment of conjunction, as it were. So any blessings and offerings that are made here, consider yourself the recipient of the blessings, as well as these offerings being yours too. So everyone should have what they need. Let's begin. Just with a very quick grounding and centering, I invite you to close your eyes along with me and just start to be mindful of your breath going in and out of your body. And don't speed it up or slow it down. Just, I think, as we become aware of our breath, we start to find its natural rhythm. In and out. We use our bodies to pull the air in, and we let our bodies go, and the air seems to escape on its own. In this breathing process and the becoming aware of our breath, consequently, we become aware of our bodies and how they feel with gravity pulling against them toward the earth. That's the sensation of grounding. As we breathe and we feel the earth pulling us toward her, that is that sense of grounding. Gravity itself grounds us. That it's a force that's, while we can understand it, most of us just participate in it. So it's easy to find that ground. Just let yourself go, follow your breath into the earth, and let that grounding happen all the way down to the earth's core. Now, as we follow our breath, move that consciousness skyward into the heavens, into the swirling cosmos, the swirling earth within the stationary cosmos. However our perspective is, there's points in the cosmos and in the star field that are uniquely ours or that we can identify. Find a star and focus on it. And this star, by focusing its light and imagining that light coming into you, that light is going to center you in the greater cosmos. The first, grounding is the you are here map on Earth. Centering is the you are here map in the cosmos. And as we breathe and return to this time and place, know that at any time, with the closing of our eyes and with a few in and out breaths, we could return to this sensation of being grounded and being centered in the cosmos. For now, our work begins. Our first offering, this is indeed a live show, folks. The sound you hear is a Ziploc bag in which lives organic tobacco, which I forgot to take out until now. This first offering is for the first peoples of this place. In Colorado, the Arapaho, Apache, Cheyenne, Ute, Pueblo, and Shoshone. We offer this tobacco to you, good spirits of place, to remind ourselves that we have obligations for poor choices of our ancestors and wrongs that need to be made right. We offer this tobacco in the spirit of knowing appropriate things to do and knowing what's right to give. May that spirit continue with us in the future as we move forward together. So say we all. Next, we make an oil offering to the spirit of inspiration, that our minds be enlivened and our tongues quickened, that the work we're about to do is made right and these offerings received in good form. With inspired hearts and recognition made to the first peoples, we now offer to the Earth Mother, great provider, here known as Colorado, Lady of the Red Earth. We make this offering to you, recognizing and honoring the relationship that we have with you, committing to remaining balanced and holistic in that relationship, and correcting the wrongs into rights. Earth Mother, accept our offering. Now, children of Earth, we are ready to get into the meat of this. So, in order to do that, we first have to create our sacred space. Our ancestors in different places had temples, as Reverend Gordon Grove likes to say, age-hallowed, made of stone and wood. We do not have that, save our little house and our tiny shrine here, the folk shrine at the Prairie Home. So in spirit, we have to rebuild the things that normally made up, aside from the physical structure, made up a temple, made up a holy place. So first, we bring light to the darkness by kindling the sacred fire, a fire that acts as a gate to the upper realms and the spirits of divinity. Sacred fire, burn within us. We next make an offering of coins of silver to the well, that it may be hallowed and blessed, acting as a gateway to our ancestors, that they may hear our love and honor for them. Sacred well, flow within us. And spanning the very cosmos itself, uniting the fire and the well, is the tree that spans the ways between, covering the spaces in between the points. Sacred tree, grow within us. With our hallows recognized as gates as well as sacred points, we're now ready to invite our special guests, the divine beings that are our allies, our ancestors of blood and bone and hearth and heart, as well as the spirits of nature that dwell around us in myriad ways in all places. We start by making offering to the spirits of place, to those wild things, those unseen spirits of the land, beings of fur and fin, things that walk, slither, and crawl. We make honor to you this day, our autumnal equinox, that you may continue to work in reciprocity and balance with us. Nature spirits, accept our offering. Ancestors of blood and bone, of heart and hearth, we ask that you join us at the sacred hallows. Accept this offering. Continue to bless and inspire us with your wisdom. Ancestors, accept our offering. Sacred and shining kindred, divine ones, you who inspire and bless us and have throughout time, and God's be good, will continue to do so in the future. We ask that you accept this offering, that this smoke be pleasing to you, that you may continue to bless and inspire us in our daily lives. Shining ones, accept our offering. So, this is the time of the leaf dancer. Leaf dancer is our special guest of this particular occasion. there's lots of things we could say about the spirit of the turning of the seasons and whatnot, but I think in this time of great change, this time of, the reality is that things are supposed to be balanced right now. And we are tremendously feeling out of balance. Societal injustices toward people of color, specifically members of the black community. Horrors of people who are being held in detention centers in the name of the United States. Not to mention the loss of one of the most championing human beings on our Supreme Court, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg of blessed memory. May her memory be a blessing and inspiration to us all. During this time of trying to find balance, I have found it very difficult. I've found it difficult to attain that. I have found myself playing more video games and at the same time trying to be gentle on myself because I'm playing more video games. I needed to find some beauty in my life, to try to reconnect me through the darkness, through the clouds. I had to remember that through the clouds, I had to get through them to remember that the sun is still there burning. And it was a story that my wife wrote after I told her my poor accounting of Leaf Dancer and my experiences in time. My wife wrote a short piece that we've read every year hence since she came to this place and started serving as one of its priests. So I'd like to share that with you, make an offering to our Leaf Dancer, and continue on with the rite. Our fields have been ripe with the bounty of Colorado, our Earth Mother, since the time of the first harvest. The corn has reached its zenith and sits ready for our feasts. The Palisade peaches are being canned and jammed, and the grains have been brought in from the fields. A wondrous display of life's sustaining gifts. Our tables are blessed. As the trees sway gently in the breeze, lulled by the respirations of the twin guides, they become drowsy. Spent after months of rapid growth and transformation, after months of providing protection and solace to the nature kin who dwell in their branches, after months of continued fertility finally coming to fruition, the trees are tired. It is time once more. The trees are ready to fade into the slumber that beckons the winter goddess down from the mountains. Riding in on the cool autumn breeze, Leaf Dancer comes. Red is her hair, her face full of life. Her feet are sleek and full of grace, pointed toes upon which she leaps from tree to tree, twirling round the trunks to a tune of her own making, skirts cascading around her and sending the leaves to join in her fray. The wafting cool winds from her skirts as she swirls send shivers down the trunks, and the aspens quake. The leaves, full of fervor, give up the green of the spring and clothe themselves for the occasion. Brilliant yellows and golds, contrasted by occasional highlights of reds and browns, all reflecting the face of Skyfather as he watches from his lofty seat in the sky. The leaves prepare to bid us adieu in a tapestry unlike any other we have seen. And on she dances, lifting the leaves, caressing them gently but firmly in her euphoric dance, coaxing them in joy and affection to join her until they release themselves from their boughs. Free, they fly through the winds that whip her hair, swirling and twirling in an ecstatic frenzy, up and up and up, higher than they have ever been. The liberated leaves, drunk on their freedom, abandon themselves to her dance. She spins round and round, her skirts keeping them aloft, as she moves on to the next stand of trees. The leaves slowly and gently begin their final descent toward the embrace of Earth Mother below, where they are carefully returned to the soil of her bosom and made ready to be a part of the cycle once more, after a well-earned winter's sleep, where dreams of the dances of life and death bring hope to the children of earth. With that, children of earth, we make this offering to the spirit of this season, our leaf dancer. May she continue to aid in the changing of seasons and the coming of time here in our mountain home. Leaf dancer, accept our offering. So with all offerings made, we usually make one more. For me, it's the just in case offering. It's the in case we left something out or forgot something or someone was offended by something we did, please accept this offering in hopes that you will not send lightning or some sort of insect plague upon us. So say we all. With that, children of earth, we now call for an omen. This is the way. A gift calls for a gift. A blessing calls for a blessing. An offering calls for a return. So, may the true sight be upon me and the true words be mine. May I be blessed with wit, wisdom, and understanding that I may see, know, and share. It's hard to see, but that's okay. Well, the short story is, if we go deep and are immovable in our hearts, our communication will be right and true like the flight of a spear, resulting in complete and utter success across the cosmos in all worlds. First, Laguz. Some people say the lake. I like to read it as the leak that gets battered at the shore's edge, that unless it had deep roots, would just be washed away. Go deep, especially in those emotional heart places. Second, Ansuz, the sigil of communication, of right speech, that spear that never misses. That's kind of the spirit behind this, and it's having right speech has the ability to go right through to anything and hit its mark as long as that communication is right. So, lead with the heart, right speech, and that leads to the sigil for the tree that encompasses all the things. So, if we can connect with that heart depth and use right speech, then we potentially can be effective everywhere we go. This I have seen. This is a good omen. So with that, we now make our pour for the waters of life. All waters, like the cranes and my wife like to say, are sacred by their very nature. For a time, we set these waters aside. Most waters go into blessing and filling the world tree. When we start to talk about how cosmos is built, where's the waters? The waters are within the cosmos itself. In order to make that cosmos part of our reality, we have to take some of those waters and put them into ourselves. See where I'm going with this? So, that being said, may the blessings and inspiration of going deep within our hearts, that immovable heart depth, right speech and communication, and knowing our effectiveness wherever we go in all the worlds, may those blessings and the spirit of those blessings fill this cup. This cup of what was once water by the kindreds three, by our own will, by you out there who is watching this, your intentionality as well. These blessings, may they flow through us. May they sustain and renew us. Children of earth, behold the waters of life. Drink deep with me, children of earth. Take that blessing into yourself as I pass this off camera to my wife. The waters of life. So with that, taking these blessings into ourselves, I'd like to close everything out and say farewell. So, we start with the thank yous. Our first thank you is to the Leaf Dancer, the spirit of the turning autumn here in Colorado. Leaf Dancer, for your aid and inspiration and beauty in our lives, we offer our full honor and thanks. Leaf Dancer, we thank you. Kindreds 3, God's ancestors and shining beings, for your aid and blessing in our life, we offer our full honor and thanks. Kindreds 3, we thank you. Now, children of earth, may the fire once again be flame, may the well once again be but water, may all be as it was before these rites, save for the blessings that we take away from them within ourselves. Children of earth, these rites have come to an end. Thank you for joining us once again. Any questions or comments about this, please send them to us. If you could post them in the YouTube page, please do that. If you can email them, william@mountainancestors.org. If it's a question for Missy, missy@mountainancestors.org. We'll see you again for full moon. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. You know all the YouTube stuff. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of funky graphic at some point that we have with all this. So in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. We're so grateful for your presence. And we'll see you next time. Blessings.